This was not the ending Blue Jays fans were hoping for in Toronto and right across the country. They have just lost Game 7 of the World Series, 5-4 for the Dodgers. A tough night, a bitter pill to swallow, particularly because the Jays were leading for most of the game until the top of the ninth, when the Dodgers took the lead. Well, first they tied, and now they have taken the lead. You can see fans quietly, dejectedly leaving Nathan Phillips Square, which Toronto police had warned which was at capacity. So a good 65,000, 70,000 people had gathered at Nathan Phillips Square to watch the ending that no one in this city wanted. All right, let's show you how this game ended. Again, a bitter pill for Blue Jays fans who have just lost the World Series in Game 7.
High fly to left. He's hit it a long way. And it's gone. Will Smith has homered, and the Dodgers have the lead. And the pitch. And a broken bat, grounder to short. And the Dodgers turn it and win it. The Dodgers have won the World Series. They have beaten the Blue Jays 5-4 here in 11 innings. They have repeated as World Series champions. And an incredible year for the Blue Jays ends with heartbreak.
A heartbreaking ending to an incredible year. Mark McAllister, you are outside the Rogers Center. And even though we should be proud, and we are proud of this team, I mean, they were in last place last year and so close to first place. This is a tough ending to watch. How's the crowd where you are?
Yeah, tough to feel that at this point. Yes, they went from last to this point this year. However, everybody is pretty disappointed at this point. Give me your thoughts.
Terrible, terrible. Just so sad. Got to catch the train home. Rough night. But I wish it could be different.
How are you feeling at this point?
We had so many opportunities to win this game, and we sold it in the last inning. It's terrible. I hate this team. This is awful.
Hey, we're young,
this is bad.
There we go.
We're young. Hey, we're going to be back next year.
Next year, we got
Next
this.
year?
This
Next
is our
year.
next year's. Mark my words. We're coming for you guys.
There you go. So a little bit of sentiment of disappointment at the same time. Maybe already looking forward to next year. But obviously there are tens of thousands of fans spilling out of Rogers Center at this point. They've got a lot of emotion pent up inside them as a result of everything that has happened through the course of this game and obviously the result as well.
All right, Mark McAllister, not the outcome anyone was hoping for. Thank you very much. And next, we are live to Brandon Shogri. And Brandon, tell us where you are right now and what's the mood there?
Yeah, Cynthia, I'm just north of the Rogers Center where thousands of fans very disappointedly are walking out of the dome. Again, just an absolute heartbreaker. What a way to lose the World Series in Game 7 in extra innings. I mean, just the look on these fans' faces. I haven't seen a smile in probably about 20 minutes. So, guys, I know that was a tough loss. How are we feeling about our Blue Jays right now?
I mean, the level of competition that was made tonight, it's insane. And respect to the boys for making it this far. And we're proud of them. and we'll be back next year. Shout out Carp, Ontario, Ottawa, my hometown.
Shout out Carp, Ontario. I'm sure there's fans in Carp, Ontario, as there are across the country, who are mourning this loss right now. Guys, just a little bit of what's the feeling like outside the dome right now?
Well, we had a 6-hour tour out here just to witness this. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Out from Dunrobin.
Do you feel like we'll be back next year? Can we get him next year?
100%. Savage is a stud. He'll be back next year. The boys will be better next year, and we'll win her next year. We'll be back.
It's the vibe. This feeling's still in the city, man. We just got to sign the right guys. We'll be back next year. It's heartbreaking though.
We'll be back next year. That's the sentiment from a lot of fans, as well as obviously a heck of a lot of disappointment. Cynthia, back to you.
All right, Brandon Shogri, tough night out there. That's not what anyone was hoping for. Okay, next we are live to Melissa Nakovely outside Scotiabank Centre. And Melissa, I imagine the mood is similarly dour.
Oh yeah, Cynthia. Well, what a change the mood was. At least an hour ago to now, I've seen many people coming out with actual tears in their eyes. We spoke with some folks that said they would have given literally anything to see a win tonight. I do have a couple of friends here with me now. What a devastating loss. How are you guys feeling?
You know what? It is very unfortunate. I really wanted, a third ring for Toronto and stuff. I was really here to watch the game and see the whole crowd go up. But you know what? It was a good ball game in the end. But Dodgers were the better team, and yes. And I know he wants to say something.
Yeah. How are you feeling tonight?
Dodgers were the really better team. It's always about America when it comes to Canada. They always get the best out of this thing. But I have one more team that's going to actually do it this year.
Yeah.
You better take that team in. You better take that team in.
And I've been hearing a lot of that here tonight. What would have a World Series win, what would that mean for you if you would have seen that tonight?
I've been there for the Raptors win. I've been there for the Argos win. I've been there for the TFC ring. So this series would have been a very life-changing win for me. I would have had another ring to the collection. That's what it would have meant to me. For Toronto, it would have meant the world for them. To finally for baseball since 1993, for them to finally come back and finally show that Toronto is still there. Toronto's still up there for one of the MLB teams.
Thank you very much. Again, not the news fans wanted out here. Many people leaving pretty sad. Again, lots of tears in their eyes, but now they're looking forward to next year. And as we heard earlier, also the Maple Leafs. So we have that at least, Cynthia. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Melissa. Let's not forget the Raptors, though. Come on. The Raptors. You never know.
Let's not forget the Raptors
they
either,
have a great year as well. Okay, Melissa Nakovely, we are now going to Mark McAllister, who's outside the Rogers Centre. And Mark, we have to remember the Jays, of course, were trying to end a 32-year drought, but other teams have suffered far worse. I mean, didn't the Cubs end? That was a massive drought. How many years was it? Jess, help me out, or Laura.
And the Red Sox as well. It took them a very, very long time for them to break their drought. However,
it was the Cubs.
At this point, nobody's thinking
years.
about the Red Sox or the Cubs.
Fair.
Nobody's thinking about those teams right now. Everybody's talking about their hometown Blue Jays. And as the thousands come out of the Rogers Centre right now, that's what they're feeling. They're feeling like they've been let down at this point, but at the same time, they've been able to see their team reach this point. I've got Al with me right now, who was likely around the last time they won the World Series. How are you feeling at this point?
Sad, but on the same token, they did put up one heck of a year, didn't they? It was pumped right up until the 9th inning. We'll get them next year. Next year will be our year.
We'll continue to climb the ladder. There you go.
Yeah, that's it, man. Hey.
All right, Al, thank you for stopping.
Go Jays, go. Oh,
Keep it going.
Go Leafs, go.
Well, they put up a good fight, though, right? Both teams worked very hard this season, right?
Very true. Very true. And to his sentiment, yes, we have other teams in this town as well. The Leafs. And you know what? When we were on the streets with the Raptors 6 years ago when they won, obviously it was a much different feeling. However, everybody is still looking forward to the possibility of that happening here in Toronto from this point forward. Back to you.
Mark McAllister, thank you very much. And next, we're live to Brandon Shogri. And you know, Brandon, we have to remember the Blue Jays were up against the defending champs. I mean, the Dodgers won last year. This is a formidable team that they were up against. Everybody counted them out, and they put up one heck of a fight.
Yeah, absolutely, Cynthia. I mean, this was an absolute Cinderella season for the Blue Jays. It did end in heartbreak, but we got to look at the big picture here. You know, the Blue Jays, everybody counted them out, especially American analysts. They counted them out from even making the playoffs this year, and they made an incredible run going all the way to extra innings in Game 7 of the World Series, as close as you can possibly get to winning a championship. Jeff, you were inside. What was the feeling like in the Dome tonight?
It was palpable, you know, like the highs, the lows. The energy was amazing. Unfortunately, we didn't pull it off, but like you said, this is a Cinderella story. We didn't expect to make it here, and we got such an incredible fan base. We'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back. Do you feel like the Jays can make another run at this? He says next year.
Next year.
Next year. You think next year?
Absolutely. Why not? Why can't we?
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Why not us? Why not us?
Let's go!
They're big Jays fans. They're hopeful for next year. We'll keep our fingers crossed. And back to you.
You know, Brandon, what I'm finding quite striking is how quiet the majority of people are. Like, people aren't really making any noise. They're just walking out very somberly.
They really are, Cynthia. I mean, almost nobody is saying anything, not even to each other. It's really kind of eerily quiet here. It's shocking compared to the way we were.
Shocking is not enough to.
It's shocking the way, you know, compared to how it was even just 20 minutes ago when everybody was singing and cheering. But, you know, this guy, he just said he's going to go home and cry himself to sleep. And that's kind of the feeling right now. We're all ready to just go home and cry ourselves to sleep.
We were united in hope and now united in some grief. Brandon Shogri, thank you. Next, we are going live to Alan Carter, who's standing outside the Dome, but Alan was actually inside with a ticket watching the game. And Alan, describe what it was like in there when there was some hope and then the agony of defeat.
There is no joy in Mudville tonight, Cynthia. You heard Brandon talk about how quiet everybody is. It's so different out here now with the game over than it was just a few moments ago in the game. Even at the end of the game there, Vladdy on third, Kirk up, it looked, there was so much to cheer about all game long, and it was ecstatic in there. It was electric. It was the loudest I have ever heard the Rogers Center, but we just kind of let the Dodgers hang around, and there was this creeping sense of worry that just kind of, as the game went on and on, even with 2 outs, there was still like almost a sense of like, I can't believe this is going to happen. And then it did.
Ricky, hold on.
But you heard it from others. I heard it from a bunch of people coming on out. You know, people are downcast, they're not happy. But you heard it again and again. Next year, I will see you next year. I heard from a number of people as we headed out. Not the result that anybody wants. And yes, there will be some long faces and some tears and some pillows. But what a season! No one expected us to be here. Game 7, an incredible ride. Just so close, Cynthia. Just next year, we're back again.
So close. Now, Alan, the moment that everyone inside realized the game was over and the Jays had lost, describe that moment for me.
This is the band right here.
Geez, how do I put that into words? Crushing? There was just, when they went up 5-4, there was a sense like, oh no. And then, it looked like we were going to be able to come back and tie it. And then Kirk with the broken bat, I was just shouting. My son is actually on the camera here, 17-year-old. Nice work, by the way. I said to my son, just no double play. Just no double play. And then, of course, broken back, double play. And my son turns to me and said, I thought you said no double play. It's not my fault, but still, there was this sense of, I cannot believe it. We were so close. And then, but you still hear the chants. You still hear the cheers. Not the result anybody wanted, but that's sports, and that's fandom.
Definitely. And to your point, we were so close, so next year, right?
Next year, I'll be right back here. Just, you can book me now. I'm available Game 7 for next year. Just put it down on my schedule.
We'll put it on the schedule. Alan Carter, thanks very much. Thank you to your son for shooting your video. Much appreciated. Okay, next we are going live to Brandon Shogri, who's been standing at Nathan Phillips Square, which was packed to capacity. And oh my goodness, Brandon, there's no one there. There were some 60, 70,000 people there just 10, 15 minutes ago.
Cynthia, what a difference a few hours could make. Before, I'd say maybe 40 minutes ago, you couldn't even be able to stand here. It was shoulder to shoulder. There's so many people excited to be here to watch this game. You saw the tweet from Toronto Police saying that Nathan Phillips Square was at capacity. It was like there was so many people. There were people on the Toronto sign, which you're not supposed to be on, but they were there cheering on the Jays. And then as soon as that heartbreaking moment happened, there was a mass exodus. I'm going to move over here to speak with Liam and his friends. First off, Liam.
Yes.
Tough game. How are you feeling?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm mad. I'm cheese, fam. Like, it could have been a lot better. But at the end of the day, it's baseball, it's sports. So like we have next year. We still got the Raptors to win this year. We still got a lot of shit. We can still show LA.
Yeah. My other question I want to ask, there's so many places you guys could have went to watch the game. You decided to come here, Nathan Phillips Square. Why did you come out here, outside, out in the cold, as opposed to being inside at a bar?
No better place than downtown Toronto, Nathan Phillips Square, win or lose. The Blue Jays, we're always going to be here for them. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It was a great scene. It was a great showing. And we love the Blue Jays, win or lose.
Thank you guys so much. Again, Cynthia, tough loss for the Blue Jays. You can see Nathan Phillips Square completely empty right now. But man, leading up to that moment, it was electric here. You could, it was that last time when I was talking to you, I was wondering, like, why is my voice gone? And it wasn't because I was yelling. It was just because I had to speak so loud. That's how loud it was here. So, tough loss for the Jays. But speaking to City of Toronto staff, they said because of how popular it was tonight, that this might become a tradition where Nathan Phillips Square becomes, the official spot to watch the Jays if you can't make it to the Rogers Center.
I think that's brilliant, and we should also do it for the Raptors and the Maple Leafs as well. Now, Brandon, one thing that is really striking me is unlike we've seen in other cities when a team loses, like there doesn't seem to be any violence, any anger. People are just quietly dejected, but they're not reacting badly.
Well, honestly, Cynthia, I think so many people were already getting ready for the parade this coming week. They thought this was over. They thought that the Jays were about to win. So I think it's a mix of shock and sadness. But you know how Canadians are and how Torontonians are in the city, where you're not going to see that type of behavior. But as far as emotion, I think right now it's kind of what you mentioned: dejected, sad, depressed. I feel like a shock is a big emotion that I'm seeing from people because, like I said, Cynthia, a lot of people thought this was in the bag.
And it meant so much to them for their team to win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more than just a game for many, isn't it? I mean, it's this collective feeling and that was really uniting the city and the country at this time, all with their hopes wrapped around this team. So I think maybe you disagree. You're a sports fanatic too. Like, I think we should be proud of this team. I think they've come a long way this year.
Exactly. Well, you look at where they started to where they ended up, but you mentioned, and that was one thing that I thought was just so amazing. Speaking to people here, was just that that generational fan love that was passed down from family member to family member. I spoke. earlier in the 6 o'clock show, I spoke to a couple who they were around in the 90s when the Blue Jays won, and they brought their daughter who wasn't born, hoping to relive that magic. So that part has been amazing to see, and I think there's been given their success, a lot of new Blue Jays fans are here, and more that are going to come.
Can't believe it. We lost.
All right, Brandon Rowe.
CityNews.
Oh, Brandon Rowe, thank you so very much. Disappointing outcome, but we appreciate you being there. All right, well, our cameras were rolling when the final out was called for the Blue Jays, and they all realized, the fans realized, that they were not going to take home the coveted win title of the World Series. And you can see from different angles the reaction as reality set in. So again, the Dodgers have taken the World Series for the second time in a row, beating the Blue Jays 5-4 in the 11th inning. Not the ending anyone in this city or country was hoping for. And we're going to go back to Mark McAllister, who's standing in front of the Rogers Center, and the crowd is starting to thin out there, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, much like you were saying at Nathan Phillips Square, people are very quickly wanting to leave and wanting to get out of this space and move on as quickly as they pause, because they don't want to associate themselves with the feeling they're feeling right now, I would assume. And we've got a lot of people that we've asked to stop that don't necessarily want to talk about things right now. You've got a lot of sentiment, people saying that, yes, let's look forward to next year, but at the same time, you've also got people that just want to sit on it for a little bit. I could turn around and ask some more people, but I can tell you, chances are, not many are going to be stopping at this point. They're making their way from Bremner, where we are now, obviously towards where Scotiabank Arena is, potentially Union Station, to start making their way home. We've even got sad music playing in the background from the local hot dog stand. Ozzy Osbourne, Mama, I'm Coming Home, I believe it is. So that's it. Let me see if I can talk to these guys. We're live on the air on City TV right now. How are you feeling?
Disappointed. Great run by the boys, though. Yeah, would have loved to see him finish it out there, but, that's ball.
Some hope for next year?
Absolutely, yeah. Bring it back. Run it back. Let's go, Jays!
There we go. Okay. So there you go. You've got a little bit of the hope for next year, at the same time trying to deal with what we're experiencing right here. Plenty more people coming this way. We'll see how the rest of the evening goes.
All right, Mark McAllister. When I was going home last night on the subway after the loss last night, I sat on the subway beside a woman who literally had a tear coming down her eye, and she was at the game. So I imagine that sums up what a lot of people are feeling right now.
I would think so, based on being so invested for such a long time through this entire playoff run, a 7-game series in the ALCS and a 7-game World Series at the same time, and being able to ride that roller coaster throughout all the ups and downs. It's not what we're talking about over the last 32 years. These last few weeks have been enough to take people from here to here and back again. So you can't imagine what it's like right now to be able to have to take a step back and try and deal with that emotion and figure out what exactly happened. But at the same time, remember, it's sports. This is what brought this city together for a very long time at the same time. And we have to feel proud about the fact that we were one city, one country as a whole for such a long time. Hopefully that carries forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mark McAllister. We're going to check in now with Brandon Chogri, who's not so far away from Mark McAllister. And Brandon, we have to remember some of the players, though, and the stories that we got about these players. And look at this 22-year-old pitcher who did such a great job. Nobody ever heard of Savage before the last couple of months. And look what he accomplished. And we had Springer with the dinger and all these great stories. Brandon.
Yeah, so many incredible moments for these players who have really just become an iconic part of Toronto sports history at this point. Maybe we didn't get the Joe Carter winning moment, but we did have the Springer dinger. We had Barger's grand slam. We had Savage, setting a rookie record in the World Series with 12 Ks. We had so many incredible moments from this team, just not the moment that we wanted with them finally lifting the World Series trophy. So we're just north of the Rogers Center, and really the Dome went from the place that every person in the country wanted to be tonight to the place that nobody can get away from faster. We have thousands of people streaming by. Guys, you were watching this game together. How are we feeling about our Blue Jays right now?
At the end of the day, we still
fuck the Blue Jays, bro.
How are you feeling about the Blue Jays?
At the end of the day, we love our Blue Jays. Vladdy, Bo, Springer, they all did their jobs, but I think Barger and Clement really stood out this year. And Savage is he's going to be unforgettable moments this season. So,
what are you going to remember about this Blue Jays playoff run?
I think just a magical run. Like, no one expected these guys to go this far. They're up against the powerhouse Dodgers, and proud of the guys. I did a really good job sticking in there. So, we'll be back.
You feel like we can be back next year? What do you think?
100%. Yeah, we'll be back next year.
And I know it's a bummer, but how are you guys gonna kind of get back together? How do we regroup here?
Well, I think we rallied behind our boy Trey Savage there, a young lad. He's coming up through the minors, but he's here this year, and we come back behind that guy next year. He's our man. He's our man.
Go. He's our man. So, yes, some disappointed faces, and we're going home not the way we wanted to, but we got next year. We got it next year. We're coming for those Dodgers. They're not going to three-peat. The Jays are coming back.
I like how you're thinking. Brandon Shogri, thank you. So, as we can see, dejected fans leaving the area of the game, local bars, as well as the Rogers Center. You see their dejection. Now, we're going to show you how the team itself reacted when they realized they had lost the World Series. Have to watch them absorb that loss. Now, our Lindsay Dunn has been following this team closely all season long, every game, every moment, speaking to all the players. And she, of course, was inside on the field during that game. And this is how she saw it go down.
It wasn't the Hollywood ending to the Toronto Blue Jays season that the fans and the players were hoping for. A season that started off with uncertainty at spring training, where Vladdy Guerrero Jr. he did not come to a contract agreement with the Toronto Blue Jays, but less than a month later, he would sign a historic $500 million contract with the franchise. Game 7 here at the Rogers Center of the World Series, Dodgers getting the win in what truly was an intense and emotional game. Also a historic game. Bo Bichette hitting his first career home run of the postseason. There was even a bit of a fight that happened, a baseball fight that is, so it was pretty tame, but both bullpens and dugouts cleared. But unfortunately, the Toronto Blue Jays lost it in extra innings. Well, Blue Jays fans and players are truly disappointed and sad right now. There's so much to celebrate right now about how they have celebrated generations of baseball fans, not only in Canada, but countries around the world, including Mexico, where Alejandro Kirk is from. He became the first Mexican-born player to hit a home run in the World Series. Nathan Lucas was going to retire from baseball after being 10 years in the minor leagues. He had one of the best years of his career. To Tyler Heineman, to Vladdy, to George Springer, to so many players that people were not aware of making a name for themselves. Everyone in Blue Jays Nation and that team should be proud of what they have accomplished. It's just only a few more months, though, until baseball will start again. Reporting for City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.
She makes some great points. Now, these are shots, live shots from inside the Rogers Center, where our camera is capturing the mood and emotions of the fans who are still watching, still absorbing what has happened tonight and through the season. Dodgers pitcher Yamamoto has been named the MVP. Of course, he was a formidable pitcher on the mound. Tough adversary for the Blue Jays. Back to the shop, but right now we're going to head to Melissa Nakovely. And Melissa, not the outcome people wanted. It looks pretty empty where you are right now.
You know, as soon as the game was done, Cynthia, people just flooded from indoors. Thousands of people inside the watch party at Scotiabank Arena, and they all just went home. I gotta say, a lot of people here with some tears in their eyes even just couldn't believe what happened. Very disappointed after an amazing run by the Blue Jays, but here we are, disappointed crowd. Still some people lingering though, you know, getting to know each other, kind of comforting each other in this massive heartbreaking loss that they experienced tonight. I do have a couple of fans here with me that were at the watch party. How are you guys feeling? I'm sure not the best.
Yeah, definitely not the best. We had our hopes up, especially with that last run where he hit the home plate and then the catcher's toe came off. Had us all off of our seats. I don't think it could have got us this close to winning and then taking it all away from us.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
The boys were so close to making it happen. Honestly, I've never seen the country together, this close together since the 2019 Raptors. To see the unity and strength here at Rogers Center, for sure we'll be supporting this team next year, and the Blue Jays have got a lot more fans. And man, I'm now a baseball fan too.
And that's what it's all about, right? It's about the sport, it's about community, and that's what we saw here today, regardless of the outcome, Cynthia. I'll send it back to you for now.
And Melissa, I do believe that there are a whole new generation of Blue Jays fans. Thank you very much. And now we're going to take you live to John Schnarder, the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays.
And, you know, you want to let them decide the outcome of the World Series. You know, that was an epic World Series. You know what I mean? For a variety of different reasons. So at the end of the day, you know, players, they can become legends or they can be this close. You know what I mean? And we were this close. And, you know, I'm just proud that we went about it the right way.
Do a couple more. John in the second row on your right.
Hey, John. What did you think of Max Scherzer's performance tonight?
I thought Max was really good. I thought he was, you know, exactly what we thought he would be in a big game. And it's a testament to him, man. He's 41 years old. He's throwing 96. He's making pitches. I thought he was awesome. You know, in games like this, you know, you usually think starts are going to be short, you know what I mean? But there's no one I trusted more than Max in that situation, you know, bottom of the order. And I thought he handled everything extremely well, and he gave us exactly what we needed.
Do you think tonight was his last game in Major League Baseball?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Go straight back near the cameras.
John, to win a championship, you have to perform, but you also need a little bit of luck. And it seemed as though a lot of the bad breaks went against you guys, ball in the fence and losing a game in 18. And tonight you get 2 hard hit balls to infielders that don't go through, a couple of also close calls on strikes and balls there at the end that don't go your way. Do you feel like there was a little bit of lack of luck on your side?
Yeah. I mean, to be the last team standing, a lot of things have to happen. You have to perform. You have to make good decisions. You have to make plays. You know, I think that's why it hurts so much. Himmy hitting the ball to, I mean, I don't know how Muncy caught that. Izzy just not getting there, and Will almost coming off the plate. We played so good defensively too. Double play from Vlad, Varsha's catch. Yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen in order to win it. You know what I mean? And we did everything that we needed to do. It felt like. So I think that's why it stings. You know, just a little bit more.
Take 2 last ones. 6th row on your left.
John, how would you describe the Dodgers as a team?
Talented.
One more for John. We'll finish up with Mike.
John, can I ask you about Vlad? I mean, today he had the 1 hit, but it came in on the double in the 11th. He makes 3 terrific defensive plays. If this game had gone the other way, he's probably the World Series MVP. What did you see from him tonight?
Exactly what we saw the entire postseason. Vladimir took his game to another level, and I think for players that are here and that are going to be here and that are going to be here in the future, knowing that we got 14 more years of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing complete baseball is an awesome thing for our team and for our fans.
And Ernie sets the record with 30 hits in the postseason. And, in the first round, one of the TV commentators said nobody's ever heard of this guy. Mm-hmm. You've watched him for a couple of years. What did you think of his postseason and his game tonight?
Historic, it's you don't see that very often. We're talking about really good pitchers, right-handers, left-handers. Ernie had a phenomenal year. I hope he wins a Gold Glove. He should. And he kind of became one of the faces of our team because of the way he plays. Unbelievable run that he was on this entire postseason. And, man, he's turned himself into what people think was a waiver wire pickup or a guy that's, kicked around the minors. He's turned himself into a everyday major leaguer that is going to contribute to win a world championship.
All right, John, just an incredible postseason for the AL champs. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And I don't want to leave without saying congratulations to Dave and the Dodgers. It's a hard-fought series, and it sucks when you're not the last team standing. But to Dave and his staff and his team, congratulations.
Oh, incredible World Series. You should be so proud, John. Thank you.
Blue Jays manager John Schneider speaking to the media. He called this an epic series against the LA Dodgers and acknowledged this loss hurt. 5-4 for the Dodgers in the 11th inning. Now, Schneider had nothing but praise for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., saying 14 more years with this remarkable, talented player for the Jays. And when he was asked about the Dodgers, he simply said they were a talented team, but ended his remarks congratulating them, ending the note on a class act. All right, these are live shots inside Rogers Stadium. We're going outside now to Mark McAllister, standing by for us. Mark.
Outside the Rogers Center, just down the street on Bremner at Lower Simcoe right now. The streets are more or less bare. You've got a few people that are still making their way outside the stadium at this point, but a lot of long faces, a lot of people clearly upset at everything that has happened, at the same time trying to look forward to next year as well. Now what's happening on the streets is the police trying to make sure that everyone makes their way home safely. As you can see, Toronto's mounted units making their way down Bremner right now. Everybody seems to be okay at this point. There aren't any revelers. There aren't any people getting upset and smashing things on the streets of Toronto right now. It's probably more sadness than it is anger, which is a good thing. at this point. You certainly don't want to see that happen on our streets should something like this take place. And there was some questions if they lost this way, whether or not that was going to happen. But at this point, police have everything under control, as you can see, and they're about to continue to make their way this way. If I can, we've got some fans here. How are you feeling at this point?
It's tough. It's tough. I'll put it this way: we never expected the Jays to be in the World Series, let alone the playoffs, at the start of the season, and they've come a long way. But it's really heartbreaking to lose in Game 7. My sister and I, we went to every single home postseason game, and even went to LA to watch them there for Game 3, 4, and 5. So it's really heartbreaking when it comes down to this final moment, especially with two outs remaining on a Dodger season. Pitch left up in the zone, gone.
You've been living this then.
I've been living this.
Play to play, game to game. That's incredible.
That's right. Play to play, game to game, inch by inch of every single game. It's just tough sometimes, but I get it. It's like I said, no one would have thought that the Jays were in the World Series, let alone the postseason. So it's a great season. It's a season to remember that there's still hope, even if you don't spend that money on Ohtani and Soto and Burns and Yamamoto, Sasaki, and going on and on. It's just a power of friendship.
And what do you think about moving forwards and the hopes for next year?
Hopes, hey, we're going to be back next year. They're going to be back next year. They're going to show the league why they deserve to be World Series champions. They lost this season, but next season's a whole new season. Next season starts tomorrow.
There you go. And I think they've probably shown a lot of people a lot of things as a result of how they've done to this point.
Yeah, they did. They proved everyone wrong. If you look at the unsung heroes, Addison Barger, David Schneider, Nathan Lucas, and Ernie the Dog Clement. Like, who would have ever thought those four would have been on this roster at the start of the season? They all earned a starting role, and they made themselves a big name in the league, especially with Ernie Clement at that last moment, bases loaded. That was a good catch by Paul Hess, but Ernie Clement now holds the record for the most hits in postseason history with 30. It's more than Vlad.
There's a lot of records that the Blue Jays ended up taking as a result of this postseason run. You, my friend, are probably the biggest fan with the biggest smile on your face despite the result.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to be happy for a team because, like I said, no one would have ever thought this team would have been in the World Series, and look where they are now.